Yesterday I had a bad experience going to a new med spa, and I want to share that experience with you all because I think that you all can learn from it just like I did. For those of you that are new, welcome. My name is Melly. This is my channel, and I do a lot of everything on my channel, but one of the things that I take pride in is being authentic and sharing like real experiences with you all because I think we are in a world that's a lot of fakeness is going on, and sometimes we don't talk about like these kinds of experience where shit goes wrong because we're embarrassed, and we don't really want to share that, right? That we like might have effed up. And I don't think that was the case in this one. But I have those cases, which I'll add in other videos. So yesterday I went to a new med spa, and I guess I'll take it back. I've been getting Dsyport and Dsyport is a muscle relaxer. So it's kind of like Botox, but just like a different brand, I guess. And there are several, but I chose Dsyport for various reasons. And I've been getting my Dsyport at the place that I got my PRP because they do sales like in November and Mother's Day, and I get it for $3.50 a unit, which is the cheapest that I've seen. The catch is that I have had to like go over there. So it's like about an hour 15 to an hour and a half away. So I would have to take time off of work. And when I was doing my PRP injections and doing that all together, then it worked because that was like the closest place I was doing PRP injections. So it worked out, like I had to go anyways, right? Now that I'm not doing PRP as often, I am just doing my Dsyport. So I'm like, okay, can I find a place that's closer, even if I have to pay a little bit more, but I have the convenience of like not having to take my time off, using my vacation time. I have two choices. I can go in the place where I work. There's some spas there, or where I live because I don't work in the same place that I live. I decided to go where like my hometown because if I go where I work, like sometimes they don't have like after hours time, so I would have to take time off of work anyways. And other times I'm like, well, some of the appointments were like far out, or they were like really late, so I would have to wait till like 6 o'clock and then my appointment and then drive home. So I'm like, I don't really like that. This new place that just opened up that I saw on my way in to town, I looked up, and they had just opened up, so they have a lot of appointments. They have evening time, so I'm like, well, this works really well. Like I can go after work and then I just drive home. I'm nearby. The price of their Dsyport was $4 a unit, and their Botox is $12 a unit, which is pretty normal. But again, I normally get Dsyport, so I had my appointment. I go in, and this place looks really cute. The girl is nice and everything, and I tell her I want 25 units of Dsyport. That's what I normally get. I get 10 and 15. And so, the last time I did my crow's feet, but not this time because I was trying to be on a budget. I've been spending a lot, but like being wrinkle free is really important to me. So I decided that, and the last time I got this was like in February, so it's been a while. So I'm like, I want 25 units. So she's like, okay, I'm gonna draw them up, and it took her some time, but I didn't think of anything of it, and like I felt like she did more injections than before that I've gotten before, but again, it just depends on the nurse or the injector. She also mentioned like, oh, do you anything like for your brows at the end, because sometimes like they'll drop because of what you get here. So to balance out, we do some here, and I'm like, well, I don't think I have, but like we can try. She's like, I would only do 2 units on each side. Okay, cool. That is 29 units. So normally, right, $4 a unit, I get 25 units, about $100 or so because of taxes. I don't know if they charge me tax. They have to, I guess. So about $100. I'm like, okay, it's gonna be under 120 probably. And so we're talking, and then I see, that it has that's like $300, and I'm like, at first, I guess it didn't click, so I put my card in, and then I'm like, wait, like, how much did you charge me? And I say, how much did you charge me, not how much are they are, because they had already told me, like, I have a text that says $4 a unit. So I'm like, how much did you charge me per unit? And she's like, oh well, like $4. And I'm like, yeah, but I got 29. She's like, well, one Botox unit is the equivalent of 3 Dsyport units. So since we did 29, you multiply that, and then you get 87, and you times that, and it's like 350. And she had given me a $50 coupon, which I thought was gonna be awesome, but no, she's like, it's like 348. And like, but that doesn't make sense. Like when I go, I say I want 25 units. You multiply that by 4, and you get $100. She's like, no, she's like, that's not how we do it. It's because it's the equivalent. So, we have to multiply that. And then she like did this other math, and she's like, it still comes out to the same. If you do like the 29 times 12, it's still 348 versus the 29 times 3 times 4. She's like, so it's still the same. And I like this, I was speechless, because I'm like, that hold on a second. But and I kept telling her, I'm like, that doesn't make sense. And I'm like, so you did 87 units of Dsyport? And she's like, yeah, because you said you did 25, so you multiply that by 3. And she's like, 25 units is really like not that much. Like I've never done that. Like I wouldn't do so low. But girl, it is not your body. It is my body. If I want to do low units, then I should be allowed to do that. And if you thought it was like really low, then you should have said that. Like, oh, I think that's, quite low. Are you sure that's in Dsyport? You know, or okay, you said you want 25 units, that's going to be multiplied, so that's about 87 units of Dsyport. But she didn't do that. So I was really pissed, and I told her, like, I mean, I'll pay you. You already put it in my face, but like, that's something that I would need to know, like for my budget. Like, I didn't go in and be like, oh, I'm gonna spend $300, $350 today. I said, okay, I can spend like $100 something because I got other shit to spend on. Like, and I even like I said before, I would do my crow's feet, but this time, like, I'm not gonna do my crow's feet because I'm on a budget. So for me to come out of there having spent $300, like she messaged me and she's like, oh, like, I'm sorry for the miscommunication. And when I was there, she's like, oh, well, that's like everybody that I know, that's how they do it. Like I've never heard anybody do just the amount. But like, no, if you say it's $4 a unit and I'm expecting 10 units of it, you multiply, that's $40. Like I was just like, I was pissed. I was pissed because one, I wasn't trying to spend that much. Two, like 87 units. When I got 50 units, like I felt like it was too much. It didn't look bad, but I felt like it was too much for me, my liking. And having done 87, and here's the thing, that it will take time to wear off, but I kind of like, I think if you get more units, it takes longer. But I kind of like it wearing off and doing it more often, because I've been doing, well, I do a lot of like little videos, and I want my face to still look natural. And I kind of like when it's like in the middle where it's kind of wearing off, so you don't have like, your wrinkles don't stick, but you still like have the effect. And the last time that I did it, I like did a short film, and then like they're like, get mad, and I couldn't do that with my eyebrows. But if it would have been like a couple weeks in, like I would have been fine. So I get a certain amount because that's what I like. That's what I'm trying to say. So in simple words, like I get the 25 units because I did 50 and I didn't like it. I did 25 and it was better. So if your spa does this crazy math where you tell them you want 25 units and they multiply by 3 to get your total, I want to know. I want to know. Please comment it. Please let me know. Like, maybe that is how they do it. And I didn't know that, because the other spots that I've gone to don't do that. So I do want to know. So if I go anywhere else, I'm going to ask them up front, hey, I'm saying 25 units. That's $4 a unit. My total is going to be about 100. Like, can you confirm that? That's what I'm going to do before getting injections in my face. But if that hasn't been the case for you, or if you are somebody who's thinking about Dsyport or any of the, because now there's like Zeoman or something like that, which is another like muscle relaxer, but it's like the price is different, and I think the equivalencies are different. So if you're thinking of anything like that, like check your prices before, especially if you're on a budget. Um, it's not that like it's gonna totally kill me, those $200, but I like to be on a budget. I would rather have spent those $200 towards my next vacation or my crow's feet or something like that. Like it just not being able to plan for it or not knowing in advance, like that really grinds my gears. And then having more than I actually wanted, that irritates the poop out of me. So just keep that in mind. And that's why I wanted to share this story. When you go try to, maybe get a total before you get your injections, like, hey, you said it was $4 a unit, I'm getting this, so my total should be this, and they should be able to confirm it. um I It does not make sense to me for them to do it this way, because it's hella confusing. Like, why not just give people a upfront cost or a calculator, or price the unit different, or I don't know. It, I can't imagine people doing it this way, because, like I said, it just doesn't make sense. Like, why? And when she was talking to me, she's like, "Oh, it's hard to explain, like how she came up with the total or why they calculated that way." And I'm like, it shouldn't be hard to explain. Like, it's money, it's numbers. You multiply this times this, and that's the cost. Like, why do you have to do this conversion? That doesn't make sense to me. Um, if I wanted 29 units, I would have just said, Botox. It's just different. It just doesn't make sense. And for them not to be able to like really be like, okay, well, this is why we do it this way, or this is the exact math. Like, mm, she was very nice, and the place is really cute, but that's not. It's just not right, and it didn't feel right. And even though she's like, oh, I wasn't trying to rip you off, like I'm not necessarily saying you're trying to rip me off, but that there's something off there. There's something off. But anyways, that's my story time. If you like I said, if your place does it like that, where you say, hey, I'm going 29 units, and then they times it by 3 to give you your total, I do want to know, out of curiosity. So if you all, I don't know if you all have questions actually about Dsyport, let me know in the comments, and I can do another video. Thank you for watching. I will see you in the next one.